Hi, Weenie. Oh boy. I just feel like talking to y'all a little bit today. So, it's Sunday, and I just want to talk to y'all about something that's on my mind and get some feedback from you guys because I'm getting like a pull from the universe, I guess. I'm getting a tug on my inner self telling me to do something, to try something. And I just want to talk about it because that's what this whole thing is going to turn into, is me talking. And so I want to see what you guys think about it. This whole journey of YouTube and everything, of this building my own little community, and you guys, all your support. It's inspired me. You have to forgive me. I've been swimming, and then all of a sudden it got like really rainy and cloudy all of a sudden, and I don't know. It just makes my nose stuffy when you're in the water and it goes from hot to cold like really suddenly, and that's what it did today. So yeah, guys, let's talk about what's on my mind. And remember, guys, if you enjoy my content, just make sure to give it a like and a subscribe. And let's get started. All right, guys. So I had a thought this morning. I had a thought that I really enjoy doing my Lolcow commentary content. I originally started my channel because I wanted to give my opinion about the abuse that Phil puts his audience through. And I know that this has been talked about before. I'm not unique or nothing like that. I'm not like, one of a kind, but I've put my own perspective and I analyze things a little bit differently. And I do more than criticize Phil, for his past. I'm criticizing Phil for his actions that he is doing today. And I dropped the past because he's dropped the past. Even though he's never really taken accountability for his actions, but he doesn't care. His ego is what his image is now. But I digress. We all know about all that. And me being a girl has given my perspective a little bit of a new twist in the community, I feel like. Over here fiddling with a freaking bottle cap. I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. This isn't a bad thing. It's just I have I want to start a new angle with my content. Not really fully turning around. Like, I'm not this isn't going to fully change anything. But I want to bring in a new series per se, I guess, cuz I'm still going to make the content I make now. That's never going to stop because I really really enjoy it, and it's brought a lot of people to me, and y'all enjoy it. I enjoy analyzing Phil and other locales and putting my opinions on what's going on with them and my predictions and you know my analysis on everything. So that's never going to stop ever. But I'm really big on self-growth. I'm on a journey myself. I've been on a journey my entire life because I have been through some shit in my life, as I'm sure a lot of people have, a lot of you have. And we've had to go through life learning things, and a lot of that learning comes through seeing other people make the mistake, you know, or we make the mistakes ourselves, but we learn from them, we change, and we better ourselves, right? Well, some people don't learn or change. They keep making those mistakes. They don't take accountability for those mistakes. And they post it all on the internet for us all to see. Thus, locales, right? I even posted a little post on Twitter this morning talking about it a little bit, that I think there's a lot that we can learn from locales as human beings. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all fuck up. But what separates the strong from the weak is the willingness to change and be better and admit when you're wrong. You know? And that's hard. It's hard to admit, hey, I was wrong. I fucked up. I said some fucked up shit. I did some fucked up shit. But you know what? I'm going to grow and I'm going to be better. You know? Lolcows don't do that. And there's so much more. Like, I watch Phil. I watch Amberlynn Reed. I watch Nick Rikita. I watch them all. And I'm like, there's so much I'm pulling from these people that I want to share with others. Like, I'll give you a small example just so you'll understand. I was watching Amberlynn Reed. Amberlynn Reed recently came out and said that she has some kind of thyroid issue. And my instant thought was like, oh my gosh, she's going to use this as an excuse as to why she hasn't been able to lose weight and this and that, and that's pretty much exactly what she's done. I automatically thought about myself when I was younger, and even now sometimes, when I know I'm putting myself in a bad situation, when I'm headed in a really bad direction, and I continue to make excuses for myself, and I continue to put myself in these bad situations that prevent me from being a better person and growing. Because growth is hard. Bettering yourself is freaking difficult as fuck. Like Amber, she knows she needs to lose weight to make herself more healthy, right? She knows. She's acknowledged that for years. But you know, it's really hard to make the right decisions to better yourself, because then that means you have to change yourself. And we live in a world where right now people really don't believe that you need to change yourself, because then that's, you know, why do you need to change yourself? You're perfect the way you are. And it's like, no, not really. there's things about us, and it's human. It's human to not be perfect. Why the fuck would you believe that you're perfect? That's weird. Why would you not think that there's always room for growth? And Amber is stuck in that cycle where there's nothing wrong with me. I just need this. I need to do this for myself. Me taking food away from me is abusive to myself. You know, she hasn't gotten a grip on reality to notice that she is hurting herself, and that she's not willing to change herself to better herself. You know, and like, that's what I want to start doing, guys. Like, this is my idea. I want to have a podcast where I not only analyze lolcows, but we analyze their life's decisions and we make a lesson out of it. Yes, it's fun. It's super easy to look at people like DSP and Amberlynn Reed and Cyrax. It's easy to point and laugh at them and call them idiots and call them stupid and pathetic. That's easy. You know, it is. Because they just put it out there for everyone to see, and it's easy to do. What I want to do is really break things down and put my life's experience in it, and try to put myself in other people's shoes, and really analyze this behavior and try to create lessons that we can take away to better ourselves. Because we can actually really, truly benefit from these people's mistakes. We can grow as a person if we take what they're doing wrong. And I feel like people are like, oh, you know, it's pretty obvious, like, don't beg for money on the internet, and don't talk to your audience like that, and don't be a greedy bastard. You know, that's obvious, right? But looking at DSP, when he got that $1,600 tip, he was nervous as all hell because this whole thing was planned, right? It's pretty obvious that that whole entire situation was planned. And what I think when I see that is that Phil is too afraid to accept a loss. DSP is way too afraid, and his ego is so big. He's got misplaced confidence. He's got, you know, we could take a lot from that. Like, what is misplaced confidence? How do you take a loss in your life so that way you can learn how to better yourself? If Phil would just lower the goal for every day so that way people can meet the goal without him having to fake shit and plan shit, he would, it would make things easier on him mentally. But sometimes you gotta take a loss and accept, hey, if I'm not willing to change my content and all of that, sometimes you just gotta make a sacrifice somewhere else in your life. Sacrificing is a big thing that Phil is not willing to do. And that's another thing I feel like we can talk about. There's so much more deep that we can get in when it comes to Lolcows. I'm not afraid to do it. I'm not afraid, and I might say some shit, and I want to say some shit that might make people feel uncomfortable, because I've been uncomfortable a lot of my life. And I think we all have, right? Like, if you've been through some shit, you get it. If you've been through some shit, you understand what it's like. Like, if you've been sheltered like I was, oh my God, I was so sheltered, y'all. Like, I came into life, like, in high school, I was a little tidbit of myself. I was homeschooled until high school. Not by choice. My father didn't want me around people. He didn't believe that people were good, so he secluded me, like, almost completely for most of my life. I came back into the public in high school. Can you imagine? Not knowing what the fuck? So, it was a shock. It was a shock. I want to take away from Lolcows and give a benefit for all of us. A benefit for me. A benefit for you. If you're going through shit. Because somebody said this perfectly on my Twitter. And if you're here watching this, I want to thank you for saying this, because this is exactly my thought. We are all one big bad decision from becoming a Lolcow. A term that pretty much just, it's an internet term, but it can also be true for real life. We all know somebody in real life that we could consider a Lolcow, right? We all know somebody. We all do. And if it's you, okay, you have the opportunity to fix yourself. We all do. We all have the opportunity to better ourselves, to be better and learn a lesson and become the best versions of ourselves that we can. You know, I've always wanted to help people like that. Like, that is a really, I help people every day that are in abusive situations, and they tell me their situation, and I'm not there for like a counseling thing, but I provide that for them if they're here and they need somebody to talk to. Sometimes they'll just let it all out on me, and I'm like, okay, I will take it. And, I'll tell them, like, this is your time to grow. You're getting this divorce. You were abused by this person. You're about to be free from this person. But during this time, during the divorce, is going to be the hardest part of it all, because this is your separation period from this person. And I provide feedback to people, and it feels good. I'm not somebody that's been privileged my whole life, unfortunately. I have been severely abused, severely neglected. I had to get through that. I had to learn by fucking up. I had to learn by pushing people away, making tons of mistakes, and I still make mistakes till now. I am not perfect. By no means am I perfect. No. I can tell you I make mistakes every single fucking day. I'm not a perfect person, and I mean, y'all saw. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable with you guys. I literally cried in the beginning of one of my YouTube videos because I was so emotional about all of this stuff, because I just didn't expect it to be the way it is right now so fast. And I don't have anybody to thank but you guys. And I love talking to y'all. Like, on my lives, I just love talking to y'all. Y'all are so wonderful. And, like, I want to grow that. I don't think I'm ever going to be huge, like PewDiePie or Markiplier. I never think that. I want to put something out there. And now I think I'm getting pushed by something in the universe, if you believe that I need to take something that is viewed so negatively, so bad, right? Darkseid Phil is nothing but bad. And he is. He's a really shitty person. I don't like him. But there is some good that I can take away from his bad decisions. We can analyze it. We could go deeper into what he's doing, and we could analyze it, and we can take away a really, really good life lesson for somebody else. For us. We can learn from Phil on a way deeper level than I think that you realize. I want to create a podcast. I want to post for the podcast at least once a week. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. If you have suggestions for the title, comment it, message it to me, let me know. And it's just going to be me talking to you guys. It's going to be me just giving y'all a talk, kind of like giving y'all an input on life and giving y'all a little bit of my story and just being vulnerable. I think that's important. There's not enough people willing to be vulnerable with strangers, you know? And why not? Why not? I've lived enough life, and I'm only 27, about to be 28 on the 14th of this month, actually. Jesus, that's crazy. And, you know, my little 14-year-old self was so angry at the world, so hurt by how she was treated and how much childhood that she lost and how much opportunity slipped through her fingers because she was so angry at everything, hated everybody. And now here I am, and I just want to love everybody. You know, I want to spread positivity. I want to tell people, you know, I want to give people a different perspective on things. And I want some kind of positivity to be taken away from things that are viewed so negatively. There's always something you could take away from a negative person or a negative situation. You can always take away something that can benefit you. Because, I mean, it's a lot of negativity that surrounds the Lolcow thing. You know, it's nothing but negative. And I want to change that. Like, I want to change the stigma around Lolcows. And it's like, you want to fuck up? Fuck up. You want to not take responsibility? Don't take responsibility. But you know what? I can take your mistake and make it a lesson for me and somebody else. I'm getting a little bit emotional because I feel really, really, really strongly about this. And if it doesn't take off, like right away, whatever, like I still want to do it. I'll do a video on here once a week, and then I'll probably post a podcast once a week on like Spotify and Apple Music. I think this is gonna be part of my, like, main part of my content, guys. Like, you know, I've been watching Nick Rakita and Low Tier God. I've been trying to learn more about them. I have people send me stuff about them, and I appreciate that because catching up with a new locale is freaking hard. There's so much. Like, you need to learn the lore, you need to learn the memes, you need to learn, like, you know, just everything. And then you need to keep up with what they're doing currently. Like, it's crazy, right? But the more I watch these people, I'm like, man, there's so much more to these people than what I think that we realize. Like, sometimes it's real dark, like really scary shit, you know? And I just want to take away from it. I want to benefit. I want others to benefit from people's mistakes because they're never going to take responsibility for it. They're never going to see it this way because they're so stuck in their own ways. Like, there's no way for us to break it, you know? Like, August the Duck talked to Darkseid Phil in his videos to him, didn't do nothing. Didn't do nothing. The Lord Jesus Christ himself could probably come down and criticize Phil for what he's doing wrong, and Phil would probably still not take away from that. You know? So there's no changing lolcows. There's no saving them from themselves. But, you know, somebody might be in the situation where they're going to start doing things the way a lolcow does. Making mistakes that can lead them to be that kind of person. So I want to help. Like, I want to help people that are in those situations and say, hey, look what this guy is. This is what he's been doing wrong. Let's pick this apart and let's learn from it. Let's better ourselves. Because nobody wants to be a Lolcow in real life. Okay? Nobody wants that. I don't. And I've done some shit, y'all, that it could have made me a Lolcow in real life if I didn't learn from it. If I continued down that path, I would have been a Lolcow. I would have been a failure. I would have been a laughing stock if I wasn't willing to change the way I have been. That's my idea, guys. I really want to hear what y'all think. If y'all made it this far, thank you. And I might get some people that unsubscribe from me because they're. I feel like people are gonna be like, you're looking too far into it. You're doing too much, and it's like I don't think I've been doing enough. And I love my content. Again, this is not going to change my normal content. What I do, I just want to put a new angle out into the world. I want to try something different, and I'm going to commit to it. So, thank you guys for listening to me. And again, if you have feedback from me, please let me know. And if you have an idea for the name of I'm thinking Lolcow lessons. That just sounds kind of silly though. I want something catchy. Well, that is, and we all know there needs to be more positivity in this world. There's not enough. Seriously. So yeah, guys, it's Sunday evening. So tomorrow's Monday. Let's get some rest, y'all. Rest up. And let's get ready for the new week. Eat a good meal. Have some water. Take care of yourself tonight. I love you guys so much. Bye, Weenies.